I like normal fights. Not. I like to be in the cage more than outside, so it was fun. Last minute, get some punches. I'm the best grappler in the UFC. My striking is not bad as well, but my grappling is top level.
Khamzat Chimaev has once again reminded the world why he is one of the most compelling figures in mixed martial arts today. After his dominant victory over Dricus Plessis, the undefeated star spoke openly about his mindset, his preparation, and his future. What makes this post-fight interview so fascinating is not just the way Khamzat breaks down the fight, but how he reveals his philosophy about competition, his dedication to training, and the emotional role his family plays in his journey. He does not speak like someone who is obsessed with fame or recognition. Instead, he shows the mindset of a fighter who treats every challenge the same and who is always ready to prove himself. This episode of Boxy Hub is going to break down every major statement Khamzat made during his post-fight interview section by section so fans can understand exactly how this man operates. If you love in-depth fight analysis, career breakdowns, and exclusive post-fight reactions like this one, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notifications so you never miss the latest updates. One of the first things Khamzat made clear after beating Dricus was that he genuinely feels more at home inside the cage than he does outside of it. He described the fight, despite all the hype and intensity that surrounded it, as just another normal experience for him. To him, it was not an extraordinary night filled with pressure. It was just another chance to do what he enjoys most, fighting. This tells us a lot about his mentality. Many fighters often speak about nerves, anxiety, or the weight of big moments when they step into fights with this level of hype. For Khamzat, however, it is different. He thrives in the chaos of the octagon and finds joy in competing, even when the spotlight is on him. When he said it was fun to get in some punches at the last minute, it shows that he does not view these exchanges as something stressful or life-changing, but rather as part of the sport he loves. That ability to normalize high-pressure situations is one of the reasons he performs so well. Athletes who treat big moments like everyday tasks often outperform those who get swallowed up by the occasion. For Khamzat, fighting du Plessis was not about the hype, the fans, or even the magnitude of the event. It was about doing what he loves most, being inside the cage and testing himself. This approach allows him to remain calm, calculated, and dangerous even when the lights are brightest, which is a quality shared by only the greatest champions in combat sports history.
I like normal fights. Not. I like to be in the cage more than outside, so it was fun. Last minute, get some punches.
Khamzat then shifted focus to something that truly defines his career: his willingness to fight at any weight class and his insistence that all he cares about is what Dana White says and where the money is. This is a rare mindset in modern mixed martial arts because most fighters prefer to control their narrative and dictate their path. Khamzat, on the other hand, has positioned himself as the ultimate company man, someone who is ready to step in wherever the UFC needs him. This gives him incredible leverage because Dana White and the UFC love fighters who say yes to everything. His words also reveal a truth about prize fighting. At the end of the day, it is a business. Khamzat does not overcomplicate things with legacy debates or weight division politics. He simply says he will go where the opportunity pays the most. That kind of honesty resonates with fans because they know fighters risk their health every time they step into the cage, so chasing money is not selfish, it is practical. Moreover, his ability to fight across divisions makes him a rare asset. Whether it is middleweight, welterweight, or even beyond, he does not care, and that makes him a nightmare for opponents. In this statement, Khamzat crystallized his philosophy. Fighting is about doing what he does best, and the money is the reward that dictates where he applies his skills. This brutally simple mindset is why people believe he can become one of the UFC's biggest global stars.
I don't care, so whatever Dana says, so we go for that. Where is the money? I go for that, man.
When reflecting on the actual fight with Dricus Plessis, Khamzat revealed another important detail about his mentality. He explained that he did not treat the matchup as something special or overwhelming. To him, Dricus was just another man, just another opponent standing in his way. This mental framing is key to his dominance. By humanizing his opponents and refusing to elevate them to superhuman levels, Khamzat strips away any intimidation factor. He acknowledged that he went in with the mindset of a normal fight, and before he knew it, he was champion. This speaks volumes about how confidence plays a role in his career. Confidence, in this case, does not mean arrogance, but rather an unshakable belief that no one is above him. Dricus may have been seen as the toughest challenge of his career by outsiders, but to Khamzat, he was just another human being. That kind of perspective is dangerous because it allows Khamzat to step into the cage free of hesitation. He does not freeze under the spotlight or hesitate when opportunities arise. He fights like a man who believes he belongs at the very top, and that is exactly why he keeps winning. This approach also feeds into his championship mentality. Champions are not just defined by their skills, they are defined by their ability to consistently impose their will on every opponent, regardless of hype or reputation. Khamzat embodies that perfectly, and this fight with Dricus was proof that his perspective is what allows him to dominate.
Like I said, like normal fights. I didn't take like this fight something so crazy thing. So he's a human like everyone else.
Another fascinating part of Khamzat's post-fight comments was when he detailed his strategy going into the cage with Dricus. He admitted that he approached the fight with the mindset that he could not necessarily rely on taking Dricus down, so instead, he focused on maintaining control in other ways. This is an incredibly mature adjustment for a fighter who is widely regarded as one of the most dominant grapplers in the UFC. What this shows is that Khamzat is not stubborn. He does not enter fights with a single plan and force it no matter what. He adapts based on the opponent. That is a rare trait, and it is something that separates great fighters from good ones. He also credited Kamaru Usman for helping him prepare in camp, which is significant because it shows his willingness to learn from others. Training with someone of Usman's caliber, a former champion who dominated one of the toughest divisions in MMA history, clearly gave Khamzat new tools and confidence to approach this fight. By thanking Usman, he also demonstrated humility. Despite being undefeated, he still looks to improve and take advice from legends. This section of his interview highlighted just how complete Khamzat's game has become. He is not just a one-dimensional fighter who looks to take opponents down and overwhelm them. He is someone who studies, adapts, and implements strategies that allow him to control fights, even when his strongest weapons are not fully available. That is the mark of a true champion in the making.
Knew I cannot take that guy down, control. I was surprised he didn't get his neck. I think he did that good job in the camp, so the guys did really good job.
When Khamzat Chimaev says that he usually gets whatever he wants on the ground, he is not just bragging. He is speaking a truth that every single opponent who has faced him has felt firsthand. The canvas becomes his kingdom, and once the fight touches that territory, his dominance becomes absolute. He mentions the countless hours, 8 straight years of training every single day, shaping himself into the relentless grappler he is today. That is not just discipline, it is obsession. Grappling at the highest level is not something you master overnight. It requires sacrifice, pain, and a hunger that never fades. Chimaev embodies that hunger. His opponents can walk in with a game plan. They can think they have the size, strength, or skill to resist him, but the truth is, when the fight goes to the mat, Khamzat is in full control. His words reveal that he has lived and breathed this art for nearly a decade without a pause. Every sweat, every sore muscle, every broken bone along the way was building the monster who now steps into the octagon. This is why fighters break when they face him on the ground, because it is not just about technique. It is about a man who has built his life around perfecting a craft that suffocates opponents. He does not just want to dominate on the ground, he expects to. That level of confidence comes from relentless dedication, and that is why Khamzat Chimaev is feared by the entire UFC roster.
Usually get whatever I want, get in the ground, you know, so a lot of submission game. I did all 8 years, so every day.
When Khamzat Chimaev claims he is the best grappler in the UFC, he is not being humble. He is being brutally honest. His grappling is not just a part of his game, it is the foundation of his dominance. He has turned the art of wrestling and jiu-jitsu into a weapon that most fighters cannot defend against. He acknowledges that his striking is not weak, but he makes it very clear that his grappling stands superior to anything else. This is what separates him from the rest. Other fighters can strike, they can throw hands, but when Chimaev grabs hold of you, the fight is already over. His control, his transitions, his ability to dictate where the fight goes are unmatched. Fighters who believe they can stop him with striking soon realize that striking is useless when you cannot stay on your feet. Chimaev drags them into the deep waters of grappling where they drown. He has built his career around making elite fighters look helpless, and that is what makes his claim believable. The UFC has seen great grapplers before, but the difference with Khamzat is the raw aggression and intensity he applies on the mat. He smothers, he crushes, and he makes fighters feel like they have no chance. That is why when he says he is the best grappler in the UFC, nobody dares laugh. Instead, they quietly admit he might be right.
I'm the best grappler in the UFC. My striking is not bad as well, but my grappling is top level.
Khamzat Chimaev's final words about his mother reveal something much deeper than fighting. After all the blood, sweat, and battles, he remains a son who carries the weight of his family's pride. He says his mother has been a big part of his journey, always supporting him, always worrying about it, and always crying when she sees what he goes through. After his fights, when the world praises him as the champ, the first person he calls is his mom. That is the bond that fuels him. Her tears are not just of fear, they are of pride, knowing that the boy she raised became a world champion. Khamzat's acknowledgement of his mother's role shows that beneath the savage warrior in the cage is a man driven by love and loyalty. Every victory is not just for himself, it is for his family, it is for his mother who watched him struggle, who saw him rise, and who now gets to see him stand on top of the UFC. This human side of Khamzat makes his story even more powerful because it proves he is not just fighting for money or glory. He is fighting for something far greater. He is fighting for the tears of his mother to turn from worry into joy, and that is a motivation stronger than anything an opponent can bring into the cage.
Yeah, she called already.
She called you right after the fight.
Yeah, she like always crying, you know, so They say, Mom, I'm the champ now.
Khamzat Chimaev's words paint a picture of a fighter who is more than just dominant inside the octagon. He is a man who has trained with relentless obsession for years, a man who has developed grappling that no opponent can escape, and a man who fights with the heart of his family behind him. His ground game is a nightmare for anyone in the UFC. His grappling supremacy is undeniable, and his motivation comes from the love of his mother and the dream of making her proud. That combination makes him one of the most dangerous and most inspiring fighters the sport has ever seen. Khamzat Chimaev is not just building a career, he is building a legacy, and every word he speaks reminds the world that he is here to dominate, and no one is safe from the storm he brings.